The objective of the labor inspection is to further strengthen the implementation of the visitorial and enforcement powers under the Labor Code as renumbered towards securing a higher level of compliance with labor laws and standards and ensuring continuity and sustainability of compliance at workplaces. For this purpose, the Department of Labor and Employment delegates this function to the regional offices with the issuance of a list of labor inspectors who are given the authority of conduct inspection, which covers all private establishments, including their branches and workplaces in the regions. The regional offices enforce labor laws and social legislation through the conduct of labor inspection, occupational safety and health investigation, and technical and advisory visit. Special inspections may be conducted as may be deemed necessary. With the provision for mobile devices and gadgets, the DOLE developed an inspection management information system. An important feature of the system is data capture and transmittal from the field in real time, as an electronic checklist is filled up through the use of mobile devices and gadgets. Data are instantly available for viewing and processing to generate reports, statistics, and summons, including real-time monitoring of decent work indicators based on the country's decent work profile. The TAV, or Technical and Advisory Visit, aims to provide assistance to the micro-establishments, or establishments that have 1 to 9 employees, to be sustainable, productive, and competitive. It also aims to transition our micro-establishments to the formal economy that is profitable, while also complying with our labor laws and occupational safety and health standards. There are different ways or modalities to avail TAV. First is the online method. Establishments can enroll in the self-paced technical and advisory modules through our learning management system. For establishments that opted to go with online, they must accomplish the modules within 1 month from the time they registered. Second is on-site. The DOLE regional, field, and provincial offices conduct on-site or face-to-face orientation for the technical and advisory services, wherein micro-establishments are invited to attend. Third is hybrid setup. Establishments can enroll in on-site sessions and attend virtual meetings or webinars using various online platforms like MS Teams, Viber, Skype, Zoom, or Google Meet. The establishment report system was created to streamline the documents and reports required from establishments in the private sector. Several administrative requirements will be submitted through this site as a central platform. Through this system, employers no longer need to physically submit establishment reports to DOLE, since reportorial requirements can be completed remotely through the ERS. There are various types of report that can be submitted through the establishment report system. These are telecommuting report, job displacement report, flexible work arrangement, 13th month pay compliance report, and employer's work accident or illness report. The establishment report system ensured the safety of employees of DOLE and its clients by minimizing the risk of contracting the COVID-19, since the need for physical contact has been removed in this process. The objective of the labor inspection is to further strengthen the implementation of the visitorial and enforcement powers under the Labor Code as renumbered, towards securing a higher level of compliance with labor laws and standards and ensuring continuity and sustainability of compliance at workplaces. For this purpose, the Department of Labor and Employment delegates this function to the regional offices, with the issuance of a list of labor inspectors who are given the authority of conduct inspection, which covers all private establishments, including their branches and workplaces in the regions. The regional offices enforce labor laws and social legislation through the conduct of labor inspection, occupational safety and health investigation, and technical and advisory visit. Special inspections may be conducted as may be deemed necessary. With the provision for mobile devices and gadgets, the DOLE developed an inspection management information system. An important feature of the system is data capture and transmittal from the field in real time, as an electronic checklist is filled up through the use of mobile devices and gadgets. Data are instantly available for viewing and processing to generate reports, statistics, and summons, including real-time monitoring of decent work indicators based on the country's decent work profile. The TAV, or Technical and Advisory Visit, aims to provide assistance to the micro-establishments, or establishments that have 1 to 9 employees, to be sustainable, productive, and competitive. It also aims to transition our micro-establishments to the formal economy that is profitable, while also complying with our labor laws and occupational safety and health standards. There are different ways or modalities to avail TAV. First is the online method. Establishments can enroll in the self-paced technical and advisory modules through our learning management system. For establishments that opted to go with online, they must accomplish the modules within 1 month from the time they registered. Second is on-site. The DOLE regional, field, and provincial offices conduct on-site or face-to-face orientation for the technical and advisory services, wherein micro-establishments are invited to attend. Third is hybrid setup. Establishments can enroll in on-site sessions and attend virtual meetings or webinars using various online platforms like MS Teams, Viber, Skype, Zoom, or Google Meet. The establishment report system was created to streamline the documents and reports required from establishments in the private sector. Several administrative requirements will be submitted through this site as a central platform. Through this system, employers no longer need to physically submit establishment reports to DOLE, since reportorial requirements can be completed remotely through the ERS. There are various types of report that can be submitted through the establishment report system. These are telecommuting report, job displacement report, flexible work arrangement,
13th month pay compliance report, and employer's work accident or illness report.
The establishment report system ensured the safety of employees of Dole and its clients by minimizing the risk of contracting the COVID-19, since the need for physical contact has been removed in this process. The objective of the labor inspection is to further strengthen the implementation of the visitorial and enforcement powers under the Labor Code as renumbered, towards securing a higher level of compliance with labor laws and standards and ensuring continuity and sustainability of compliance at workplaces. For this purpose, the Department of Labor and Employment delegates this function to the regional offices, with the issuance of a list of labor inspectors who are given the authority of conduct inspection, which covers all private establishments, including their branches and workplaces in the regions.
The regional offices enforce labor laws and social legislation through the conduct of labor inspection, occupational safety and health investigation, and technical and advisory visit. Special inspections may be conducted as may be deemed necessary.
With the provision for mobile devices and gadgets, the DOLE developed an inspection management information system. An important feature of the system is data capture and transmittal from the field in real time, as an electronic checklist is filled up through the use of mobile devices and gadgets. Data are instantly available for viewing and processing to generate reports, statistics, and summons, including real-time monitoring of decent work indicators based on the country's decent work profile. The TAV, or Technical and Advisory Visit, aims to provide assistance to the micro-establishments, or establishments that have 1 to 9 employees, to be sustainable, productive, and competitive. It also aims to transition our micro-establishments to the formal economy that is profitable, while also complying with our labor laws and occupational safety and health standards. There are different ways or modalities to avail TAV. First is the online method. Establishments can enroll in the self-paced technical and advisory modules through our learning management system. For establishments that opted to go with online, they must accomplish the modules within 1 month from the time they registered. Second is on-site. The DOLE regional, field, and provincial offices conduct on-site or face-to-face orientation for the technical and advisory services, wherein micro-establishments are invited to attend. Third is hybrid setup. Establishments can enroll in on-site sessions and attend virtual meetings or webinars using various online platforms like MS Teams, Viber, Skype, Zoom, or Google Meet. The establishment report system was created to streamline the documents and reports required from establishments in the private sector. Several administrative requirements will be submitted through this site as a central platform. Through this system, employers no longer need to physically submit establishment reports to DOLE, since reportorial requirements can be completed remotely through the ERS.
There are various types of report that can be submitted through the establishment report system. These are telecommuting report, job displacement report, flexible work arrangement, 13th month pay compliance report, and employer's work accident or illness report.
The establishment report system ensured the safety of employees of Dole and its clients by minimizing the risk of contracting the COVID-19 since the need for physical contact has been removed in this process.
Hello, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of Webinar Wednesdays of the Department of Labor and Employment, hosted by the Bureau of Working Conditions. I am Eunice Bingil and I am your moderator for today's webinar. At bilang pakikiisa ng DOLE sa National Women's Month celebration this March, ang ating Webinar Wednesdays episodes ay ating alay sa mga kababaihang manggagawa. At dahil dyan, last Wednesday, ating pong tinalakay ang mga karapatan ng kasambahay bilang ito ay isang sektor na dominado ng mga kababaihan. And for today's Webinar Wednesday episode ay atin namang tatalakayin ang mga women-related leave benefits. And so, before we begin our webinar, let us first start with a prayer.
Let us bow our head and put ourselves in the holiness of God the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Dear Almighty and ever-loving God, we glorify and thank your name. You have showered us with so much blessings, and your presence continuously remind us of your faithfulness and guidance. May we humbly ask you to shower our speaker today of your greatest inspiration, so that he may share the most of his knowledge, his field of expertise, and to his respective topics. May we also absorb the invaluable knowledge, experiences, and put it into practice that we may learn today. Your infinite blessing would mean the success of this webinar. May we be a living witnesses of your genuine love through the enactment of the knowledge acquired through this activity. We ask this in the name of your Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Good afternoon once again and hello sa ating Facebook Live participants. Marami-rami po tayong viewers ngayon. Pa-heart react naman po dyan. Okay, maraming salamat po. You may also share this live stream webinar to your Facebook and use hashtag Webinar Wednesdays. And share to your colleagues, friends, and families to inform more people para mas marami pa po tayo na magkaroon ng bagong kaalaman. And if ever you have questions or inquiries, kindly use the comment section, and this will be answered and addressed by the resource speaker during the question and answer, and that is right after the lecture. Before we proceed to our topic, let us first know more about our Bureau. Ano ang mga functions, services, and programs of Bureau of Working Conditions? Panoorin po natin ito.
The Bureau of Working Conditions is mandated to focus on performing policy and program development and performing advisory functions for the department and the administration and enforcement of laws relating to labor standards. Specifically, the BWC develops and prescribes labor standards and policies, programs, and devices relative to its administration and enforcement. It also exercises technical and functional supervision over the DOLE regional offices as they conduct administration and enforcement activities in the respective regions. The Bureau also conducts research in aid of safety standards, policy programs, measures and device development on labor standards. And lastly, the Bureau provides knowledge and information services on labor standards data, programs, and enforcement activities. There are 5 flagship programs of the Bureau, namely Labor Inspection, Technical and Advisory Visit, Policy and Program Development, Monitoring of programs such as Construction Safety and Health Program, Technical Safety Inspection. And the last flagship program is a Case Management. The labor inspection program ensures that private sector establishments employing workers comply with the general labor standards, occupational safety and health standards, and other social legislations intended to safeguard the rights of workers to just and humane conditions at work. This is in line with the visitorial and enforcement power of the Secretary of Labor and Employment under Articles 128 and 129 of the Labor Code of the Philippines, and it is the flagship program of the BWC for ensuring the continuity and sustainability of compliance in all workplaces. Small, medium, and large establishments under the sector's hazardous work, employing children, construction projects, Philippine-registered ships in domestic shipping, fishing vessels, contracting or subcontracting arrangements, subject of SENA referral, anonymous complaint, and request for inspection, and other establishments as may be determined by the Secretary of Labor and Employment are all covered in the Labor Inspection Program. The Technical and Advisory Visit, or the TAV program, aims to build the capacity of community-based micro-establishments towards sustainable compliance with labor standards. It seeks to facilitate easier access to government programs and services instrumental to addressing their compliance gaps, as well as to provide livelihood assistance and productivity training to further capacitate micro-establishments in improving their business operations. There are various training modules offered in TAB, namely General Labor Standards, Occupational Safety and Health Standards, Child and Family Welfare, Productivity Toolbox, and Visit Checklist and Action Plan. The Technical Safety Inspection is the inspection for the purpose of safety determination of boilers, pressure vessels, internal combustion engines, electrical installations, elevators, hoisting equipments, and other mechanical equipments. The Bureau is also responsible for the development of policies and programs. The Bureau takes the lead in the formulation and assurance of timely and relevant policies, guidelines, and advisories relating to general labor standards, occupational safety and health standards, and other social legislations that promote the rights at work, improve working conditions, and guide employers and workers in the private sector. There are other various programs that are handled by the Bureau of Working Conditions, Construction Safety and Health Program, Review and Evaluation of Technical Plans, Processing of Certificate of Appearance of PMEs and PEEs, Work Alert Reporting, Processing of Certificate of No Pending Case, Disposition of Labor Standard Appealed Cases, General Labor Standards and Occupational Safety and Health Queries and Requests for Inspection-related data, Medical Services or Assistance to DOLE personnel. And the BWC is also a member of various committees like NCACL, IACAT, LI Capacity Building Committee, Safety and Health Committee, Mental Health Program, and many more. The Bureau envisions well-guided employers and workers committed to a safe, healthful, and productive work environment, adaptive to industry trends and developments, and equitably enjoying the gains of joint endeavors.
Alright, sana po ay nadagdagan ng ating kaalaman sa mga programa at serbisyo ng Bureau of Working Conditions. And so at this juncture, we will now proceed to the discussion of our today's topic, women-related leave benefits. May I introduce our speaker? She is a Labor and Employment Officer 3 of the Policy and Program Development Division of the Bureau of Working Conditions. Everyone, please welcome Ms. Jovelyn Esguerra.
Thank you so much, Ma'am Eunice. Good afternoon po sa lahat. This webinar is special dahil ngayon, tatalakayin natin ang mahalagang usapin sa buwan ng kababaihan, gaya po ng mga leave benefits na pwede po nilang magamit. Bago ang lahat, nais ko munang batiin ang mga kababaihan ng Happy Women's Month. So, before I start, share ko lang po yung aking screen. Ayan, women-related leave benefits. Okay, dito sa women-related leave benefits, bago ko muna explain po yung mga iba't ibang leave benefits na pwede pong magamit ng mga kababaihan. Una po muna, napapaloob po kasi ang mga leave benefits sa Labor Advisory number 03 series of 2023. So dito, employers shall ensure the promotion of gender equality considering the diversity in the workplace through the implementation of laws, policies, and programs. So napapaloob din po dito ang wage, training opportunities, and benefits. Unahin po muna natin ang wage. So dito, this principle ensures that men and women receive equal pay for performing the same job or work of equal value within organization. So dapat po sa pagpapasahod po ng mga empleyado, dapat po pantay-pantay anuman po ang gender po ng isang empleyado. Sa next naman po yung training opportunities. Dito naman po ang organization or ang employer should offer training and skill development programs that are equally accessible to all employees regardless din po ang gender. Kasi dito, sa training opportunities, ito po ay magiging advance po ang career nila, and magiging career advancement po ito, and ma-enhance po ang mga skills po nila. Regarding naman po sa benefits, ensuring that these benefits are available to all employees on an equal basis din po. So yung mga nare-receive po ng mga benefits na holiday pay, kung nagbibigay man po ang employer ng mga allowances or mga transpo allowance, food allowances, kailangan po pantay-pantay po yung pagbibigay niya dun po sa mga empleyado na pare-pareho po yung same job and yung work of equal value po. Next naman po, dito po napapaloob din po sa Labor Advisory 03 series of 2023 ang Republic Act 11058. Ito po yung ang Act of Strengthening Compliance with the Occupational Safety and Health Standards and providing penalties for violations thereof. So dito naman po, sa OSH RA 11058, ine-emphasize lang po dito yung importance of providing a safe and healthy working environment for all employees. So regardless din po ang gender. So dito, it mandates all employers to implement measures that prevent accidents, injuries, and health hazard in the workplace. So ito na. Ito na po yung mga iba't ibang leave benefits na pwede pong magamit ng mga kababaihan po. Una, maternity leave. Pangalawa po ay leave for victims of violence against women and their children. Next po is special leave for women. And ang last po is parental leave for solo parents. Unahin po muna natin ang maternity leave. So ang maternity leave po, all covered female employees regardless of civil status, employment status, and legitimacy of her child shall be granted. Ito po yung mga benefits po. 105 days with full pay regardless of whether she gave birth via cesarean or normal delivery. Next naman po is yung 60 days. With full pay. Ito naman po with full pay, with miscarriage or emergency termination po ng pregnancy. Sa 60 days po iyon. Next po, yung 15 days. Ito, additional 15 days, additional leave for work, qualify as a solo parent. So, pagka solo parent ka na ng anak, pwede pong may additional na 15 days of leave na pwede with full pay po ito na pwede pong magamit. Then next po, yung 30 days naman. Ito, without pay ito na option to extend na maternity leave. Kung tapos na po ang iyong maternity leave at gusto mo pang mag-extend, pwede po ito 30 days pero ito po ay without pay na. So ulitin ko po, yung 105 with full pay regardless po siya kung cesarean or normal delivery. Sa miscarriage naman, 60 days siya kung emergency miscarriage siya or emergency termination, 60 days po ito. Then additional po na pagka solo parent ka, additional na 15 days, ito po ay under RA 8972. Yung last naman po, ito naman po yung without pay. Kung gusto mo pang mag-extend ng leave mo, aside from dun sa 105, pwede pa pong mag-extend ng 30 days, pero ito po ay without pay na. So ito po, sa maternity leave, meron naman din po conditions for entitlement. Ito po yung mga kondisyon para magamit mo po ang iyong maternity leave. Una, female worker shall have notified her employer of her pregnancy. So kailangan mo ma-notify mo sa employer ng iyong pregnancy. Next po is full payment shall be advanced by the employer. So dito po, kailangan i-advance ni employer yung benefits po at ito po ay ma-reimburse nila sa SSS. Then last po, yung susunod po muna yung must have at least 3 monthly contribution to the SSS in the 12-month period immediately preceding the semester of childbirth, miscarriage, or emergency termination of pregnancy. Ito pa po pala yung additional. The SSS shall immediately reimburse the employer of 100% the amount of the maternity benefits advanced to the female employer, gaya po nung nasabi ko kanina. At ito naman po, if an employer fails to remit contributions for a female worker who gives birth, suffers a miscarriage, or undergoes emergency termination without prior notification, so dapat ang employer po yung magpipay ng damages equivalent to the benefits the worker would have received. Ito naman po sa maternity leave, yung allocation naman po ng maternity leave credits. So pwede pong i-allocate ni female employee or ni female employee yung may option po siyang i-allocate yung 7 days ng benepisyo pong ito. So pwede niya i-allocate po sa kanyang husband. Pero ang magbabayad po nito yung employer po ng kanyang husband or ang caregiver. Next naman po, ito, for non-members, i-add ko lang po ito, for non-members po ng SSS, pwede rin po i-cover ni PhilHealth po yung benefit po. Then with yung mga with pending, next naman po yung mga may pending administrative case, shall be enjoyed by the female worker in the government and in the private. So kung may pending case po, yung isang empleyado, pwede rin po niya magamit yung kanyang maternity leave. Okay. Next naman po, ito, yung Violence Against Women and Their Children or VAUC under Republic Act number 9262. Ito yung an act of a series of acts committed by any person against a woman. So ano po yung benefits po dito sa VAUC? Ito po yung leave with pay up to 10 days, extendable with the necessity arises as specified under the protection order. Ito po yung mga requirements. Certification from the punong barangay or kagawad or prosecutor of the clerk of court as the case may be that action is pending. And sa availment naman po, option of the woman employee. Ito po yung ma-acts covered ng VAUC. So, una is the physical violence. Ito yung refers to acts that include bodily or physical harm. Ini-include po dito sa physical violence yung causing or threatening, attempting to cause physical harm to the woman or her child. Then placing the woman or their child in fear or imminent physical harm. Yan po yung mga napapaloob po dun sa physical violence. Next is sexual violence po. Refers to an act which sexual is nature committed against a woman of her child. So ito po yung mga example or yung mga halimbawa po nitong sexual violence, kagaya po ng sexual harassment, threatening of a woman on her child as sex object, causing or attempting to make the woman on her child to perform yung mga sexual acts, then yung prostituting the woman on or her child. So kasama po yan. Ang next po na acts covered nitong VAUSI ay psychological violence. Itong psychological violence po, ito ang acts or omissions causing or likely to cause mental or emotional suffering of the victim such as but not limited to intimidation. So ang example po nitong mga psychological violence po, yung tinitreat niya actually tinitreat niya yung actually inflicting physical harm or one's purpose of controlling woman's actions, decision, yung emotional abuse, yan po. Then, pwede rin po yung sa mga psychological distress to the woman on her child, stalking or following po the woman of her child in the public or private places. Tapos, ang isa pong halimbawa ay peering in the window of injuring outside the residence of the woman on her child, entering or remaining in dwelling or on the property of the woman on her child against her or his will. Tapos, destroying the property and personal belongings or inflicting harm to animals or pets of the woman on her child. Then, next po yung engaging of any form of harassment or violence. Ang next naman po, ang isa pa pong acts covered, yung economic abuse. Ito po ay acts that make or attempt to make a woman financially dependent. So, ito po, halimbawa po nito, preventing the woman from engaging in any legitimate profession, occupation, business, or activity, except in cases wherein the other spouse or partners objects on valid, serious, or moral ground as defined in Article 73 of the Family Code. So, ang isa pang halimbawa is controlling the woman's own money or property or solely controlling the conjugal or common money or properties. So, kahit yung pagde-destroying the household property, kasama po dun sa economic abuse. Ayan. Next naman po, yung special leave benefits for women. So, ang definition po nito, a women employee having rendered continuous aggregate employment service at least 6 months for the at least 12 months shall be entitled to special leave benefit of 2 buwan po ito, 2 months, with full pay based on her gross compensation for following caused by gynecological disorder. So ano nga po ba yung gynecological disorder? Ang gynecological disorder, those that would require surgical procedures such as, but not limited to, dilatation and curettage, and those involving female reproductive organs such as the vagina, cervix, uterus, fallopian tubes, ovaries, and breasts, adnexia, and pelvic floor as certified by the competent physician. So, yung mga gynecological disorder po na nire-require ng surgical procedure, dapat po certified po ng competent physician. So, yung mga ibang gynecological surgeries po, ito po include niya yung mga hysterectomy, in-include din po yung variectomy and mastectomy. Ito po yung mga halimbawa ng mga gynecological surgeries. Ano naman po yung mga conditions for entitlement sa special leave benefit for women? Dapat ang isang women employee nag-render siya ng at least 6 months continuous aggregate employment service for at least 12 months prior po sa surgery. So dapat nakapag-file po siya ng application within reasonable period from the expected date po ng kanyang surgery or may be provided by the company rules or by the CBA. So ang next po is undergone surgery. So gaya po ng nasabi ko kanina, nag-undergone siya ng surgery due to gynecological disorder as certified po ng competent physician. Ayan. Yung pangatlo po is the Solo Parents Welfare Act. RA 8972 or Solo Parents Welfare Act provides for benefits and privileges to solo parents and their children. So itong Solo Parents Welfare Act, it aims to develop a comprehensive package of social development and welfare services for solo parents and their children to be carried out by the DSWD. So ang DSWD po, ang lead agency po dito sa Solo Parents Welfare Act. Ayan, ano naman po yung mga coverage sa Solo Parents Welfare Act? Ito po, parental leave for solo parents is granted to any individual who is left alone with the responsibility of parenthood due to, ito po yung coverage niya, giving birth as a result of rape or crimes, death of spouse, then spouse is detained or in serving sentence for a criminal conviction for at least 1 year. Ang next po is physical and mental incapacity of spouse as certified by a public medical practitioner. Ito pa po yung mga ibang halimbawa, declaration, nullity or annulment of marriage, legal separation or de facto separation from sa spouse for at least 1 year, legal separation, ayan po, so same lang siya, at yung panghuli po yung unmarried mother or father who has preferred to keep and rear the children instead of having others care for them. Ayan. Sa Solo Parents Welfare Act, yung benefits po nito is parental leave 7 days working days. So, dito po, meron po tayong 7 days na benefits, working days po ito with pay. So, ano po yung conditions for entitlement? Dapat yung empleyado ay nakapag-render siya ng at least 1 year. Ayun, then dapat na-notify din niya yung kanyang employer of usage within reasonable time. Then dapat dito sa isa pa sa condition for entitlement dito sa Solo Parents Welfare Act, kailangan makapag-present ng Solo Parent ID sa employer which may obtain from the DSWD Office of the City of Municipality of Residence. Ayan. In-include ko din dito yung sa lactation station and lactation breaks for breastfeeding women. So dito din kasi napaloob dun sa labor advisory, dun sa dapat mag-provide ng facilities and benefits to support maternal functions and improve the welfare of women employees. So dito sa lactation station and breaks for breastfeeding women, so it's hereby mandated na that all health and non-health facilities, establishments, or institutions shall establish lactation stations po sa workplace. So dapat not less than a total of 40 minutes for every 8 hours working period. So dapat dun sa may benefit po ang isang breastfeeding women ng 40 minutes po sa every 8 hours ng working period. Then, ang next po is yung flexible work schedule for pregnant women. Kailangan din po ang mga employer ay mag-provide po ng flexible work schedule for pregnant women, and kahit po sa solo parent, minamandato din po na magbigay ng flexible work schedule for pregnant women and solo parents. Yung last po. Ayan. Ito na po yung last slide. Gender equality in the workplace. So, dapat dito, mahalaga na ating kilalanin or pagpapalakas sa kababaihan sa lugar ng trabaho ay hindi lamang tungkol sa pagkamit ng pantay na kasarian. Ito ay tungkol sa pagtanggap, pangangalaga, at pagtupad at palalaganap ng karapatan ng mga kababaihan. So, doon na po nagtatapos yung ating presentation.
Okay, thank you very much, Ms. Jovi, for an informative discussion on women-related leave benefits. Mula maternity leave, bawsi leave, special leave benefit, and parental leave. Nabanggit po yan ni Ma'am Jovi, as well as the lactation breaks and flexible work schedule. Now, at this point, we are going to start answering the questions submitted by our viewers. Let us flash the questions. Okay, first question ay, ang lactation period po ba ay on top ng coffee break and meal break?
Yung lactation period po, opo, on top po siya ng coffee break and meal break. Minamandato po ng Republic Act number 10028 ang Expanded Breastfeeding Promotion Act of 2009 na ang nursing employees ay dapat na mabigyan ng break interval sa lactation period na dagdag sa kanyang regular time of for meals upang siya ay makapag-breastfeed o express ng kanyang gatas. Ang duration ng lactation period ay hindi bababa sa 40 minutes for every 8 hour po ng working period.
Okay, so yes, lactation period is on top of meal breaks. Next question ay, pwede po ba bigyan ng bawsi leave ang employee kung nagsabi siya na binubugbog siya ng asawa niya pero hindi siya nagreklamo sa pulis?
Hindi po. Dapat po may maipakitang certificate of pending action si employee na issued by the barangay chairman, kagawad or prosecutor or court. Alinman po sa mga nabanggit ay maaring tanggap as proof na nagsampa siya ng kaso or may ongoing case.
Okay, so ayun, so kinakailangan na mayroong issued document as supporting proof. Next question, aside from maternity benefit from the SSS, dapat ba na sweldohan in full ang employee until makabalik siya sa trabaho?
Yes po, any difference from the equivalent full salary and the SSS maternity leave benefits should be paid by the employer, treated as a salary differential.
Okay, so next question, applicable po ba itong mga leave sa project-based employee?
Yes po, the leave benefits is applicable to all employees regardless po of employment status.
Yes, tama. As long as pasok sa requirements ng respective leaves. Next question, pwede po ba pagsamahin ang pag-avail ang special leave for women and maternity leave kung halos magkakasabay na ang pag-opera sa gynecological disorder at sa CS na panganak?
A women employee na nag-undergone ng surgery due to gynecological disorder during her maternity leave is entitled only po dun sa difference between the maternity leave and the special leave benefits. In this case, sa case po na yon, the subject employee is no longer entitled to special leave benefit because both surgeries happen at the same time and maternity leave is no longer period than the special leave. So thus, the subject employee can file but without additional compensation because yung special leave benefit po, it coincides with the EML who has a longer period.
Okay. Next question. May limit po ba kung ilang beses pwede mag-maternity leave ang isang employee?
Base po dun sa IRR, wala na po itong limit. So, unlimited na po siya.
Okay. So number 7, considered solo parent po ba kung hiwalay na sa asawa pero may bago na kinakasama? Pwede pa rin po ba mag-avail ng solo parent leave ang employee kapag ganun?
Hindi na siya considered solo parent kasi hindi na siya na left alone with the responsibility of parenthood.
Pwede po ba tumanggi ang employer na mag-grant ng solo parent leave kung kulang talaga ang tao?
Hindi. Required sa batas kasi na ibigay ang leave benefits na yan.
Tama po. Employees are entitled to the leave benefits. Ito ay karapatan ng mga manggagawa. Next question, kahit ba nag-work from home, entitled pa rin ba sila sa lactation break?
Yes, they shall be granted lactation period as, yun nga po yung nasabi ko kanina, 40 minutes for every 8 hours po ng work as there is no diminution po of benefits. Ito po ay nasa Article 100 of the Labor Code as amended.
Okay. Next question. Regarding to sa lactation station, our company is only renting a space for our office. We can only provide a closed cubicle for lactation station and no sink provision. Is that okay po?
Doon naman po sa lactation station, as long as it is private, clean siya, sanitary, and well-ventilated rooms or areas in the workplace or public places where nursing mothers can wash up, breastfeed, or express their milk comfortably, and store nila this afterward. So, yun po.
Okay. Next question. Special leave for women, may expiration po ba ang pag-claim?
Dito sa special leave for women, dapat 1 year lamang. At the end of the year, mag-expire na ito. Kung dito nagamit, kung di nagamit yung benepisyong ito, ay hindi na maaring i-convert po sa cash.
Okay. Next question. Maternity leave po ba is calendar days po? How about paternity leave? Working days po ba? Same with maternity na calendar days.
Yes, ito po ay calendar days din po.
Okay. Next question. Maternity leave po na solo parent, yung additional 15 days po ba is paid by employer or by SSS or GSIS?
Ito pong maternity leave po sa solo parent. Ito po ay babayaran po na employer basta sila po ay qualified na sa solo parent. Mayroong solo parent ID from the TSWD. So, dun po sila mag-a-avail ng solo parent ID.
Okay, and I think that is the last question we have here. Thank you po sa lahat ng nag-submit ng questions. Maraming salamat din po, Ms. Jovi, pagdidiscuss ng ating topic for today. Kung mayroon po kaming hindi nasagot ngayon, ang aming social media team ay patuloy na sasagutin ang inyong inquiries. Maaari rin pong balikan itong ating webinar at panoorin muli sa Save Live Videos sa BWC Facebook page. And next week, that is March 20, the Bureau of Working Conditions will be conducting the Webinar Wednesday Episode 7 with the topic Trabaho at Sapat na Tulog. That is 2 p.m. next Wednesday, live here on our Facebook page. Okay, and that concludes our webinar for today. If ever you have further questions, you may send us an email through ask@bwc.dole.gov.ph or you may call the DOLE hotline numbers 1349. Also, please follow this page for updates on our live streams, latest labor advisories, issuances, announcements, and activities of the Bureau of Working Conditions and of the Department of Labor and Employment. Again, I am Eunice Bingil, your moderator for this program, and in behalf of the Bureau of Working Conditions, thank you for joining us today. Isang makabuluhang pagdiriwang ng National Women's Month, and see you again next episode.
Para sa katanungan at karagdagang impormasyon, maaari po tayong tumawag sa DOLE Hotline 1349 o sumangguni sa mga DOLE Regional o Field Office na nakakasakop sa inyong lugar paggawa.